Good morning, people. Happy Friday, and happy Friday to Spurs fans because you are signing Xavi Simons. Yes, you've heard it correctly. Xavi Simons is set to sign for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. And what a signing it is. Tottenham's fantastic start to the season, beating Man City, beating Burnley, but playing Papi Sarr in the number 10, which has worked under Thomas Frank for 2 games, but they've been missing just that little bit of spark, that little bit of creative edge. James Maddison out injured, Kulusevski out injured. Kudus does not want to play in the number 10. So what were Spurs fans demanding? Sign a number 10. Go out and hunt across Europe and make a bid for a player that can make an instant impact at the football club. Back Thomas Frank. Back the ambition. Back the 2 results. And you've woke up on Friday morning to a bomber. Tottenham are set to sign Xavi Simons from RB Leipzig for a total package of around 60 million euros. Simons has agreed terms and completed his medical. As revealed on TalkSport yesterday, Spurs advanced on a deal after Simons became open to the project. And despite becoming open to the project, despite Spurs being advanced on the deal, there was still murmurings. There was still doubts that Chelsea could do what Chelsea do, and that is make a last-minute bid for Xavi Simons and take him away from Spurs, just like Arsenal did with Eberechi Eze. But today, you don't have to worry about that, Spurs fans. You have now got your star player in the attacking midfield role. And obviously, as we know with Xavi Simons, he loves to operate in that number 10 area, just off the left channel as well. And I think this is exactly the type of signing that Spurs needed. Make sure you like this video, make sure you subscribe, and let's get into it because Xavi Simons is a number 10. Simple as that. He is a number 10. He plays there for the Netherlands. He's played there for Leipzig. He can play off the left, but exactly what you're looking for at Spurs Football Club is a number 10. Now, look, firstly, let's shout out Papi Sarr because he's been working hard in there. He has been a driving force in that team. He's been able to press teams, help win the ball back. He's been aggressive. He's been physical. And I can't compliment him enough. Fair play to Papi Sarr. But there's levels when it comes to the number 10 because despite you being able to do that in games such as Man City away, where sometimes you want to go a bit more compact, you want to have a bit more of a physical aspect in there, you want to be able to win the ball back. You're not going out there just to create. You're going out there to be effectively a third-man midfielder. Papi Sarr can still be an excellent weapon in there, especially when Spurs go to these big teams away in the Champions League. However, what Spurs want to be doing, what Spurs want to be seeing as the fans, especially playing at home, especially playing in the Premier League where they want to be at least 3/4 of the opposition, is you want to have some creative spark. You want to see some goals. You want to see some excitement. You want to see some flair. And now you can add Xavi Simons into this number 10 role. It's exactly what Spurs needed. Because when you look at James Maddison and what he gives you that ability to play on the half turn. He gives you that ability to create. He gives you that ability from set pieces. But obviously, he can contribute with the goals and assists and help players like Brennan Johnson, like Kudus, Richarlison, Solanke. But with him being out for a long time, Spurs can't even think about his return because that won't be until 2026. We've seen that Kudus has come out in an interview and clearly made it his prerogative that he wants to play on the right-hand side. I'm a 1v1 player. I love having my player opposite me on the wing and I can take him on. I can drive at him. So Kudus is basically nailed down that right wing spot. And Kulusevski, despite how brilliant he can be, he's been a bit injury prone. So when you're playing 2 games a week and you've got the Champions League, Premier League, you can't rely on someone like Kulusevski to be able to deliver consecutive games in a row and stay injury free. So what do? You turn your attention to a natural number 10 player in Xavi Simons. Now, look, we all know Xavi Simons and his potential and his quality. He's played in the Champions League the last 2 seasons, 23-24, 2 goals, 2 assists. Last year, played 5 games. But it's what stands out for him in the Bundesliga. And I always say, when you sign a midfielder that's going to be playing in the attacking creative zones, what sort of return do you want? What sort of numbers? And look, I'm not a numbers man, but if you are looking at numbers, what sort of numbers do you want? And for me, it's always trying to hit the 20-goal contribution mark. If you do that, you've had a very solid season. And if we look at Xavi Simons' stats here from the Bundesliga in the last 2 seasons, 23-24 campaign, 8 goals, 11 assists. That's 19 goal contributions in 32 games. In the 24-25 season last year, he got 10 goals, 7 assists. So that is 17 goal contributions. So he's always handing around that 20 goal mark. But the big thing for me is this. Last season, he only played 25 league games out of a possible 34. But yet his returns were 10 goals, 7 assists. So he scored more goals than he did in the season before that. And he's nearly got the same amount of assists. So when you're looking at a bright spark in terms of Xavi Simons and what he can do for the football club, he is bringing that creative spark to Spurs. He is going to be setting up alongside Mohamed Kudus, Brennan Johnson, Solanke Richarlison, and he's going to be the main focal point. He is going to be that outlet for Spurs that is going to be looking to create, slipping Kudus in, playing 1-2s of Kudus, playing Brennan Johnson through on a transition, helping Solanke and Richarlison score goals. And do you know what I love it most as well, which I think is great for Spurs? And this is the big thing for me. Not only can he score, not only can create, but in terms of the profile of player you've got someone with a low center of gravity. And I feel like Spurs have been needing that in the central area for so long. And let me tell you why. Papi Sarr over 6 foot, Bentancur over 6 foot, Basuma over 6 foot. Bergvall, obviously a low center of gravity, I'll probably say, but he's not going to be trusted to play as much. Leao Polina over 6 foot. Kulusevski probably over 6 foot. When you're looking at Spurs' driving force in the midfield, it's great for physicality. Exactly what Thomas Frank probably wants when he's looking at Brentford and what he had with Norgard and players like that. Janelt, he's got that Bentancur, Papi Sarr, he's got that Polina, he's got that physical presence in there, which you love. But then you look at what Brentford had in someone like Damsgaard, Mbumo, Visser, the player Fabio Carvalho they signed from Liverpool. You look at, they always have 1 or 2 players with that low center of gravity. Your players with the ability to dribble, take on players, win fouls, get through their duels, be that creative outlet. And Xavi Simons can do that. He's a very small player. He's very nimble, but he's able to get the ball, play on the half turn. He's got a low center of gravity, which means he's quick, burst of acceleration. It's going to be so pivotal to Spurs in their transition attacks. And that is going to be both on the counter and also both when they're dominating possession. His ability to create half a yard, his ability to create that bit of space. And that's what the best number 10s do. You see Odegaard with the little drop of the shoulder. David Silva was brilliant at it. Yeah, you see these type of players that when they play in a number 10, the thing that separates them from other midfielders is that little twist and turn, the low center of gravity, the burst of acceleration, the ability to take on their player and dribble. And Xavi Simons comes into that Spurs team to perfection because he's got a brick wall around him. He's got Romero, he's got Van der Ven. He's then got the midfielders just named. He's got Kudus, who's very strong as a winger. He's got Solanke Richarlison that can be physically competitive. He's got Brennan Johnson, a speed outlet. And then you've got him that's allowed to now create, be that guile, be that player for Spurs that can make a real difference in that final third. I think this is exactly the final piece of the jigsaw that Spurs needed for a first summer window under Thomas Frank. Look, you'd love more, but to bring in João Polina, to bring in Xavi Simons, you've really sorted out that sort of hub in there, in that centre of the park, a defensive midfielder, a number 10. And then on top of that, you've got Kudus, who's in between and can create in the final third and score. And we all know that Kudus is Premier League proven, and he's had a great start to life at Tottenham already. So I really, really like this business of Spurs. I think, what to expect from Xavi Simons is going to be excitement. It is going to be fun. It is going to get bums off seats. And I think it's the perfect mold for what Tottenham need in that little pocket right now around the team. It really complements what Tottenham are doing right now. And now I'm starting to question Tottenham, their ambitions, Champions League. That is 100% what Tottenham should be looking at and looking to aim for now. Getting in them Champions League spots. You're already in it this season. But there's no way now that I can't see you being competitive. If you've just beaten Man City 2-0 away, you've got a game this weekend against Bournemouth. Let's see how you do. But that could be 3 from 3 heading into the international break. And all you've got to do is carry on building that momentum, building that confidence, being organised. And the organisation will get you through some games. And Thomas Frank seems to be doing that right now. So let's see what happens with Tottenham. But this is so exciting for Tottenham fans. 60 million package for Xavi Simons, bringing one of the hottest creative outlets in Europe right now to your football club. And it's in the position you need. Guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this signing. But for me, this is the perfect signing for Tottenham Football Club. And I think he's going to be a great asset to Kudus, Solanke, Richarlison, and Brennan Johnson. Guys, I will see you soon. Tottenham for top 4? Let me know.